So there's many causes of plantar fasciitis. Mine in particular is there's particularly two reasons, well, three reasons. I have very high arches, which puts stress on the fascia on the bottom side of the foot, and also my biomechanics. I would typically try to run more forefoot, and I would try to exaggerate running forefoot because I read a series of articles about the Tarahumara Indians, how they run vast distances based off their forefoot running technique, which is more economical. And this is correct, but you shouldn't try to overemphasize running on your toes. It's supposed to be more of a midfoot strike. Forefoot, midfoot, right about the same time, not forefoot. So I adopted running more forefoot, kind of springing along, and every time I would run, my soleus would be extremely sore, every single time. And I had a feeling that it wasn't gonna work out well long term, but I kept putting it aside. Anyways, months later, I started doing very high mileage, 13, 14 miles in one session in a very short period of time. And I would try to run more midfoot, forefoot that entire time. And my soleus would get so sore. And eventually I started getting a bump on my heel, which little did I know at the time, but it was plantar fasciitis developing because the fascia on the bottom of the foot is pulling on that attachment, as well as the other side as well, your soleus. So it's being pulled from both sides, and it was being irritated, which causes the bone to grow on that attachment, and it causes pain when it with the pulling away. It causes the pain. So I went to a physical therapist, and he worked on some active release techniques, moving my foot through a general range of motion. When he would take it, he would squeeze and ask me to point my foot, bring my foot back, and a series of movements, which did help a lot. Also a little bit of stretching after it was healed, of course. The initial step is letting it heal. So my journey with recovery now, after the inflammation has gone down, is the rehabilitation, which consists of foam rolling. So I have to foam roll my soleus. So every day I will start with the first section of my leg, and I'll roll each side. So I roll slowly, I'll look for a sore spot, and then I'll stay on that about 30 to 90 seconds, gently rocking and digging deeper. This not only promotes blood flow and lengthens the muscle, breaks up the knots, breaks up the scar tissue, and allows the healing. So I have quite a few painful spots, especially right around here. So let's go through, take my time, and just break it up, move from the right to the left. And as I'm doing this, I actually move my foot around. Because with my foot being on the foam roller, it actually pins the fascia. So when I move my foot through, it sort of, from what I've read, it's sort of like an active release therapy. So the next thing that I have started doing, I got from an article online, where my leg that I'm going to work on is underneath, and there we go. So I put pressure on this leg, and I'll gently roll up and down the side of my shin while I plantar flex and dorsiflex my foot. So I'll move my foot around. It's extremely painful, but this supposedly is excellent for plantar fasciitis. And so I'll do that for a couple of minutes, and then I'll do the same thing. And yes, this is not comfortable at all, but it feels like it's really working. So I'm gonna do these things for the next couple of weeks, and attempt to run a little more and see if my plantar fasciitis is better. So the next part of what I do is I'll work on my arch. Joining us today is Bella. Bella. Hello, Bella. Hey. So, I have really bony feet with really high arches. Look at those arches. So, this is why I have plantar fasciitis. Really bony, delicate feet. I was reading that high arched feet are typically better for changing direction more quickly, but they're more prone to plantar fasciitis because the arch is under much more strain, while flat feet have benefits as well, but they're less prone to plantar fasciitis. So just an interesting fact. Anyways, so I take this lacrosse ball and I will start with the foot that has the worst plantar fasciitis. And I'll typically just run around, roll around it. And there's all kinds of little bumps in there that I feel. So I'll just roll through just like the foam roller. And I'll roll around, and then when I get to the bursa on the bottom of my foot, oh, it's like a little crunch. This is so nasty. But I have to crunch it out and break up that scar tissue. And that's about it.